Hey YouTube, Repo Man 64. Okay, I have been working on this for a while, and I've made mention of it in the past that Enoch looks at the day one of every year as March 17th. It's solid. Talking about, well, the moon didn't happen till this time, and then that changes this and that changes that, and everybody's looking at the moon, and I disagree. Our Gregorian calendar, spot on. Our Gregorian calendar, when, for example, every year when Halloween comes around, here in Florida, about 2 or 3 days before, we get a cold front. Every single year for the past 25 years I've been here in Jacksonville. Nothing changes. Nothing moves. And Enoch makes a good argument that March 17th, the day of equal parts, is the day of the first of the year. And if we could just overlay all this work that everyone's done over this, I believe that we'll at least have a better understanding of when all of these feast days are, what days they land on. I'm going to attempt to do just that, to show just that myself. So I should be on screen sharing. I'm hoping that this is not in the way. Last time I noticed my picture was in the way, and I don't know how to get rid of it without deleting something. All right, so here we come. First of all, I reduced that way too much. Let me enlarge it. All right, Tisha B Av, the 9th of Av, right? Tisha B Av lands on the 9th of Av. This year, they say the 9th of Av lands on July the 17th. It is a solemn day. It's a sad day. I believe this is the day where they went into the graves, and then in the morning, those who were alive came out, and then just the ones who died stayed in the grave, and they just buried them. They dug their own graves every I think it was every year. And on this particular year, everyone got up. So they went back into the grave again, just to make sure they weren't mistaken by their day. And then everybody got up the next morning. So they have this huge festival on, I think it's the 15th of Av. This is called Tisha B Av, and that's 2 B Av. Now, on that day is the day that the brides go out into the field, and the men come and grab up a bride out into the vineyard. That's a day of celebration that they had, because this was a horrible day for the Jews in history, that, a week later they had this massive celebration. Now, I read this in the Bible in Amos 8:10, and I have to put my glasses on because I can't see. And I will turn your feasts into mourning. So Tisha B Av is already a day of mourning. So was he going to turn our mourning into mourning? No, he's going to turn our feasts into mourning. And all your songs into lamentations. We're not singing songs on Tisha B Av. And I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins and baldness upon every head. Kind of working. And I will make it as the morning of the only son, and the end thereof as a bitter day. So God's talking about a celebration day here. On that day is the day he's going to bring sadness upon, a good day. This is already a bad day. But 2 B Av is a good day, right? You would agree with that? So how do I get out of this? There we go. Let's go on down. Let me go past that. I want to show you this. Let me enlarge this a little bit. Whoa, too much. So Enoch, remember, walked with God. God loved him. This guy captured God's attention so well that they walked into heaven together. Enoch was given charge over time. he was able to go to the seventh heaven to see how all this huge clock that God created up in the heavens with the sun, the moon, and the stars, all of that, this enormous clock, he was able to decipher it and see it all. And he says, thus, every new year, on the day of the sun, equalized the day and night, a dark concealed moon would rise with the sun on the horizon. And amazingly, this is exactly what we see on March 16th, 17th during the 19th moon cycle. When he's talking about the moon, he is talking about it happening every 19 years. He's not talking about changing the date every year to accommodate the moon. He's talking about this moon does this exact thing. And you know you're right. You know March 17th is the day because this is what happens every 19 years. We go forward. This is something I've seen for a while, and I've mentioned it, but I really want to get into it. This is Enoch, the words of the blessing of Enoch, wherewith he blessed the elect and righteous, who will be living in the day of tribulation, when all of the wicked and godless are to be removed. Who's he talking to? He comes down here, highlighted again. Not for this generation. Enoch is talking to his generation, but for a remote one, which is for to come. So he's talking, Enoch here is talking to our generation. We are the ones that are at the end. He's talking to us. And again, Enoch is a kind of a big deal. So here we read in the book of Jubilees, and I'm going to mess this up. Yahweh appointed the sun to be the great sign to the earth for days and Sabbaths, and for the months, and for feasts, and for years, and for Sabbaths of years, and for jubilees, and for all seasons of years. Basically saying here is follow the sun. The sun will tell you when you are in season. For there will be those who assuredly make observations of the moon, how it disturbs the seasons. Remember, before the flood, the moon and the sun were in sync. We know that the year lasted 360 days. We know that the moon went around the earth every 30 days. It was a perfect cycle. But because of the sin of man, things changed. It went from 360 to 364. Then and Enoch added a day every third month to get to the 364. And then another thing where God slowed time down. The slower the earth goes, the longer it takes to go around the sun. So we're at 365 and a quarter days now. So the moon's all out of whack, but the sun's not. It stays exactly in the right spot as we go around it. So Enoch says, use my 364 days. You'll just have some blank days, and then you start up again on March 17th. All right. For there will be those who assuredly make observations of the moon, how it disturbs the seasons, and comes in from year to year 10 days too soon. For this reason, the years will come upon them when they will disturb the order and make an abominable day, the day of testimony. We cannot use the moon. It's not reliable anymore. It is not in sync like it used to be. And they will confound the days, the holy with the unclean, and the unclean day with the holy, for they will go wrong as to the months and Sabbaths and feasts and jubilees. All right. Here we are. I found this jewel right here. Every year you can see that March 17th, right there's the line, begins Nisan 1. That's the first day of the year. You go all the way down here, Av. Av begins on July 17th. That's Av 1, or July 16th or so. But that's Av 1. Av 9 would be a week into Av. So it would land right there between the line of July and Av. It would not land where we're showing currently that it lands. So I come over here Let me make this smaller because I know my picture's in there somewhere. Let me make that a little bit bigger. All right, where am I at here? I'm going to come back up here. I've been working on this for a minute now. I noticed this quite some time ago, and I have brought it to your attention in the past, but I wanted to point this out because right now it's very important. March 1st, Nissan 1. I'm sorry, March 17th, Nissan 1. No doubt. That is day one of the year. The cross, Passover, happened on the 30th. Jesus rose on April the 1st. Our days do not line up with God's days, okay? They're not the same. We just named these days, but God calls it day 1, day 2, day 3. April, which is Ayar. May, Sivan. June, Tammuz. July, Av. We come down here and we're all looking at the 17th, right? And it dawns on me that the 9th of Av is actually on the 24th. It is not on the 17th. We looked at the world and the world told us that it was on the 17th. Now, this thought occurs to me. I will turn your feasts into mourning and all your songs into lamentations. The 24th is a day of celebration. It's the day of the bride. It's a happy day. At the same time, it is also the saddest day ever because the 9th of Av is the saddest day. So while the world is looking at a happy day, I believe, according to Enoch, and according to what I understand, and this is just me, just my understanding, that the 24th of July is actually the 9th of Av. And that's where I wanted to get that out. Now, I'm not saying that the rapture is going to occur on this day. I am just saying that these calendars are off. August, the month of Elul. Jay Justified's looking, and Paul Simpson is looking at the 11th. So I'm not saying that's Rapture Day, but I am telling you that July, as of July, what does it say here? As of July 16th, that is the beginning of Av. And on July 24th, that is the 9th of Av. So I just wanted to point that out. I wanted to get that out there. Let's see here if I can go back to this. And so if what I say is even remotely correct, and if we've all been looking at the 9th of Av as the rapture day, and even God says that in Amos there, 8:10, that I will turn your feast days, we kind of had to know that the 9th of Av was not going to be the day that the world viewed as the 9th of Av, that God would take us, because this is the day, the 9th of Av is the day that God removed the temple twice before in history. So wouldn't it be just like Satan to confuse it by 1 week, so that they're, and even God says it, they'll be celebrating on that day when the calamity hits. This is the day of the bride, the 24th. So that's how I see it. I still have equals the 17th, but I noticed that a few weeks ago that's not the 17th, it's the 24th. So anyway, Repo Man 64, go to a quiet place. We're out of time. I mean, don't play with your salvation. We are out of time. It has to happen. I watched Dr. Barry Oz video to the end. He references Gevti. I'm going to have to watch his video too, about 2021 is the year Okay. All of these dates are stepping stones. They are proof. Are you watching? Don't give up. Keep watching. Um, we're not professionals at this. We're guesstimating and we're trying to figure it out. I still believe we're going to get 3-day warning or a warning just before it actually happens. And I think that's going to go out to all the bride. I don't think it's just going to be one person that brings it to you. I think it's going to be, everybody will get into the Discord, for example. I'll post a link in there for Discord. We're almost up to 500 people in there, which is kind of a big deal. And let's go in there and discuss this. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But come into the Discord and we'll talk about it. And like I said, I'll put a link. It's a free app. You put it on your phone. It's just a community of Christians that we're all talking about stuff. And everyone in there has an opinion, and it's fantastic. Everybody in there has ideas, and it's fantastic. Come in there and, talk with your favorite person. We have windows in there for worship and watch. He's really growing fast, by the way. I love his teaching. You can go in there and talk directly to Will and ask him questions in his window directly, which I got to fix here real quick, by the way. But Jay Justified's in there. You can go and talk to him in his window. And otherwise, we post everybody's video in there. It's not my videos that go in there and then we all discuss mine. No, it's everyone. We've got Dunamis 333 has a window in there. Ken Potter has a window in there. And we keep the subject matter in their windows directed to them and for them so that when they have time, they come into the Discord and they get in their window and then they answer questions. I made these windows for just YouTubers that are out here that don't have time to deal with a Discord. And we have some fantastic people, moderators in there that will go in and monitor everyone's window to keep them, I say safe. Really, it is. It's to keep them safe so that the right thing is said in that window and done properly. And if it's not, then the people are just removed, We don't play with being mean to anybody. There's literally right now, or right at the end. It has to happen here pretty soon. The horn's gonna go off here any second. I keep looking outside all the time. It's what I do. I can hardly wait. So go to a quiet place by yourself. You don't need to tell anybody. Nobody needs to know. And ask God into your heart, and you'll see the change. God, John 6:44. God's calling you, and you can feel it. You can sense it, and you know it. Go to a quiet place by yourself and ask Him into your heart. RepoMan64, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll keep bringing you these videos. I'm watching real close at the 24th. If we got a 3-day warning, that's today. So who knows? Maybe we'll get some kind of confirmation today. Something to see. We have Gina in there who's finding bird feathers everywhere she goes. Literally I have never seen one, but she's finding them everywhere she goes. I even heard a trumpet yesterday. I was in the bathroom getting ready to go to work, and I hear this trumpet. So I run and look because I'm like, that's it. It's here. And, maybe it was just a pre-warning. I could never figure out where it came from. It lasted about a minute. I looked everywhere, and then that was it. I listened, and it's like they were tuning the trumpet, actually. It didn't sound like a trumpet blast. They were kind of tuning it. But anyway, come on in there on Discord, and we'll keep bringing this to you. I really would love to see Dr. Barry's stuff overlaid onto the concept that March 17th is solid every year, just like our January 1st is solid every year. March 17th is solid every year, and it doesn't move. It doesn't change. They only verify that it is correct every 19 years with the moon. They don't do it every year. They don't bounce it around. It would be, to me, that's very difficult. to deal with. And I think this is something that should be pretty easy to deal with and understand. So anyway, RepoMan64, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk with you later. Have a wonderful day and keep your eyes to the sky. It's coming.